Hey everyone, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to build a no-code sales agent that can research leads, make personalized calls, qualify the leads over the phone, then update your CRM, and even send personalized follow-ups through WhatsApp, email, and LinkedIn, all on autopilot. This might sound complicated, but it's actually quite a simple setup and can be built almost entirely within Relevance AI. Now, I built this system for my own inbound sales funnel, but this agent can also be used for outbound sales. And in this video, I'll give you a demo and a full step-by-step breakdown of the system, and the template will be available for free in my free community. Now, if you don't know me yet, I'm Ben. I've been implementing AI automations and AI agents into businesses since 2023, and I also run a community with over 3,000 members now. And if you're a business looking to adopt AI into your business, you can also book us in for a free call in the description below. So I'll first give you a quick demo, then I'll give you an overview of the setup for this system, and then I'll give you a detailed step-by-step breakdown of how you can set something like this up yourself. Now, this agent, in my case, is getting triggered from my lead form on my website. So basically, if someone needs an automation project or an AI project, I ask them to go to the lead form, right, to get a little bit more information, and of course, to get their contact information. So let's just put in an example. So basically, I ask a few questions, right? In which area do you want to implement AI? So let's say sales. Now, let's just take a random example. Let's do Airbnb, Airbnb.com. Right now, I tried to get a little bit more information on what the projects are, what they're looking for. Now, a lot of times I'm not getting very clear answers. So let's just put a sort of a vague answer. Sales automations. And then, of course, I ask for their contact details. Now, let's do Brian Chesky, founder of Airbnb, of course. Let's actually put in my phone number so we can test it out. And also my email. Company Airbnb. Now, as soon as I click submit, my AI agent is triggered, and basically the first thing he's going to do is research the lead. So it's going to research the lead, find his LinkedIn, find the company LinkedIn, and then the second thing he does is actually researching the company too. And based on that research outcome, it's basically going to write a personalized call script, and it also has access to a voice calling tool. So it will then call me with that personalized call script. And basically the purpose of that call is two things. Is first to get a little bit more information on what project they're looking for, so I can prepare better for the meeting and also see if we're a good fit. And second, it's also a little bit of a qualification because we actually ask for their budget. And depending on the outcome of that call, if they're qualified or not, if they're qualified, we actually follow up with them through WhatsApp, email, and even LinkedIn to book a meeting with me or my team. And if they're not qualified, we might refer them to someone else who might fit their needs better or their project better. So that's basically how it works now. I'm probably going to get a call in a few seconds. So I'm getting in a call right now. So let's take it.
Hi, is this Brian?
Hey, yes, this is Brian.
Hi, Brian. I'm Robert, Ben's AI assistant. We saw your request for automation services. Ben asked me to reach out to you to ask a few quick questions so Ben can prepare as best as possible for a meeting. Do you have time for a quick 3-minute chat?
Yeah, I do.
Great. I noticed you're the co-founder of Airbnb, a company that's revolutionized the way people travel and connect. Like you mentioned that you're interested in sales automations. Could you share more about the specific processes or challenges you're looking to address with automation?
Yeah, I'm actually looking to implement an outbound email system that does personalized outreach.
Thank you for that, Brian. Is there anything else that you're thinking of automating?
Yeah, actually, we're also thinking of doing some marketing automation, specifically maybe content creation for LinkedIn.
Great. Ben also instructed me to inform you that his services start at a fee of $3,000. Does that fit within your budget right now?
Yeah, that should work fine. I'm the founder of Airbnb.
Perfect. Thank you for taking the time, Brian. I'll report this information to Ben right away. He will reach out to you shortly to book a call. Have a great day, Brian.
Thank you. So as you can see, it sort of personalized that first part. And now as I'm sort of qualified, right, I'm going to receive a WhatsApp soon and an email with a follow-up. So let me check. You can see I got an email, right? Hi, Brian, Ben here. Thanks for taking the call with my voice assistant. He just told me you're looking for sales automations. We'd love to jump on a call to learn more. Here's my Calendly link. And let's check if I got a WhatsApp too. But here you go. Hi, Brian, Ben here. Thanks for taking the call with my voice assistant. He told me you're looking to implement an outbound email system for personalized outreach. So it actually took that information from the call, right? And marketing automation for content creation on LinkedIn. Seems like an interesting project for us, right? We'd love to jump on a call to learn more. Here's my Calendly link. Now, it also sends a LinkedIn invite with a message. Now, I think with these big accounts like Brian Chesky, you can't actually send them LinkedIn invites. So no, that didn't happen. But I'll show you later that with normal accounts, it actually sends a LinkedIn invite with a personalized message too, where we say, hey, again, thanks for taking the time to call. I just send you a WhatsApp message with a follow-up, right? So that's the system very quickly. Now, let me first give you an overview of the setup for this system, and then I'll give you a detailed breakdown of how you can set it up yourself. Now, as I said before, I've set up almost the entire system in Relevance AI. If you're new to Relevance AI, it's a no-code AI agent builder, and you can build these quite powerful agent solutions like these in quite a simple way. I have many other tutorials on building AI agents on Relevance AI. So if you're new to my channel, make sure to check them out if you're interested. And also, again, I'll make sure to put the link in the description below. And the template of this agent solution will be for free too in my free community, where you can basically copy and paste this entire agent setup inside of your own Relevance AI account. And then the only other software I used is Make.com. And I only used it basically to trigger our agent from my Typeform, right? So why did I do that? Because Make.com already has a native integration with Typeform, so we make it a lot easier. We can actually do it in Relevance AI too, but would have to work with a custom webhook. So it's a lot easier through Make.com. So basically, how does this system work? Pretty easy, pretty straightforward, I think, compared to some of the others I made, which is basically our Typeform gets filled out. That's the trigger, and that information will be sent to our sales agent, who will receive all the information from the lead form, and then starts to work. And our sales agent has a prompt, of course, and 7 tools, right? As you can see. And basically what our sales agent will do first is use tool 1 to find the LinkedIn of the lead and the company, and then actually research the lead. So we'll start scraping the lead's LinkedIn profile to get sort of a lead summary, right? Get some important information from the lead. Then in the second tool, it will start researching the company. So it'll start scraping the company's website and the company's LinkedIn profile too, if we found that in the first tool. And then that information, of course, gets sent back to the sales agent, who can then call the lead, right, with tool 3, which is a voice calling tool. And of course, because we have this information, we can sort of generate a little bit of a personalized call script, as you could hear in my demo, right? So this tool calls the lead, and the transcript and the results get sent back to the sales agent, who can then basically decide what to do next, right? Because of course, if our lead was qualified, then we need to do sort of different communications in these next steps than if the lead was unqualified, or it might not fit his budget at the moment, right? So let's say the lead's qualified, then our sales agent will send a WhatsApp, right? Just like you saw, basically sending our booking link, right, to set up a meeting, right? Same for the send email and the send LinkedIn invite tool. Now, let's say it might not fit perfectly in his budget, or maybe he's looking for something that we don't really do at the moment. Then our sales agent can actually refer the client to another agency or an agency partner that we work with that might have a lower starting fee to start with, or that has different capabilities in terms of AI projects. So that's basically what our sales agent does, right? It defines if he's qualified or not, and then sends the right sort of follow-up messages. And then lastly, in the last tool, it will also update the CRM with all the information that we got, both from the tools, but also from the result of the call with the lead. Right, so that's it. Quite a simple setup, I think. Let me now show you step by step inside of Relevance AI how this looks and how this works. So here we are in my Relevance AI account. So as you can see, here was triggered, right? Name, Brian Chesky, right? We get all the information from the lead form, and you can see this was the outcome, right? The process for the lead, Brian Chesky, has been successfully completed, right? And it gives us a little bit of a summary. Right now, here you can see what happened in the background. So first, it found the LinkedIn of the lead, it researched the lead, then it researched the company, then it used the voice call, then it sent an email, sent a WhatsApp, and you can see the send LinkedIn invite gave an error. Now I'm going to show you in a second that it actually works with normal LinkedIn accounts. And lastly, it updated the HubSpot. So let me first show you the agent prompt, and then I'll go tool by tool so you understand how I've set it up. So for the agent prompt, pretty simple. Here we have the agent name, doesn't really matter, right? Agent description also doesn't really matter in this case, only matters if you use sub-agents, because this description will actually be read by manager agents to know what sub-agents do. But in this case, we don't have a multi-agent team, so not important, it's just for yourself. Now we have triggers here. Now, of course, we don't have a Typeform trigger here. That's why I used make.com, which I'm going to show you in a second too, how I set that one up. And I'll make sure to also share the blueprint of make.com in the free templates. So for the core instructions, right, we have my normal, usual sort of agent prompting framework. If you don't know how to prompt agents or are new to prompting, I have a full video on prompting also on my YouTube channel. And I usually use a tool that is also available for free in my community. That is the agent prompting tool that can sort of help you write these agent prompts a little bit faster and maybe a little bit better. But I'll go through it very quickly. You can check this out in the free template tool. So for the role, you're a world-class inbound lead agent with exceptional skills in researching leads, qualifying prospects, and engaging them through multiple communication channels. Right. The objective, your goal is to efficiently manage new leads who filled out a form on our website. Think step by step to ensure thoroughness and accuracy. Specifically, you will research the lead, obtain more details, and qualify the lead. Reach out to the lead through voice call, WhatsApp, email, and LinkedIn, and update the CRM. Pretty straightforward. Not a very complex agent system. So also not a very complex prompt. Right. Context, always good to give these language models, especially agents, some more context on why it's doing this and how this fits into the bigger picture. So your role is critical to Ben AI, our AI automation agency, by effectively researching leads, understanding the automation needs, qualifying them, and initiating communication through various channels. You help drive our business growth. Right. SOP, usually very important in these agent systems, to very clearly tell your agent what sort of the step-by-step actions it has to take to get to his outcome, right? Especially when we're giving it quite a lot of tools, like in this one, 7 different tools. It's very important that these agents do it sort of in the right way and use tools in the right sequence or order for specifics or queries or tasks. So in this case, right, first find the LinkedIn, etc. We give it the SOP. Then we have some extra instructions, some extra rules, right? It is vital to my career you only use the send LinkedIn invite tool if a LinkedIn profile delete was found, for example, right? Then we have a tools section where we basically describe to our agent in as much detail, or we just describe very well what these tools can actually do, right? To give the agent context on what it can do, right? And what these tools can do. So I usually have the purpose and when to use, right? So for example, find LinkedIn research lead, find the LinkedIn profile of the lead and gather detailed information about them. Always use this tool first when a new lead is triggered. So I do that for all the different tools. Then it's always good to give some examples to your agent. Now, as you know, every form or lead will be different. The actions it has to take would be different too in every scenario, but it's still good to give these agents an idea of what to do in a certain scenario. So we, for example, give it here an input example, and then we basically in the output, we say his course of action, right? So in this scenario, right, you would first find the LinkedIn profile, etc., right? Then you would research the lead, then you can qualify the lead, right? Then you send the email, etc. And we have a second example. Now, again, this might take a little bit of a time, and that's exactly where my AI agent prompting tool is for. It will basically help you write these examples out of nothing, right? Now, you always have to check it a little bit, but it helps you a lot in sort of speeding up this process of agent prompting, which is important to get right, to get sort of the reliability of these agents that is necessary to actually deploy them in your business. So then I have notes where you double down on important rules. Right, that's a pretty straightforward prompt. Then I also use the flow builder quickly. Here, the flow builder is basically to sort of double down on that SOP, right? And as you can see, it's a pretty simple one again, right? We just have one condition, but in this case, it's right. Use find LinkedIn and research lead tool. If you don't know, you can just use a slash here to actually find your tools, right? So then research the company again. Then use voice call, right? Then send WhatsApp. Right, if the LinkedIn was not found, right, then we don't send a LinkedIn invite, of course, and Then lastly, update CRM. If the LinkedIn was found, then send a LinkedIn invite. Very simple flow. Actually, probably not necessary. I just wanted to put it in to show you guys how the Flow Builder works. Better is if it's way more complex system, there's a lot more possibilities, then this Flow Builder can really help to make the reliability of your agent in different scenarios increased, right? So then we have abilities here. Here basically we can label tasks. I didn't put it on in this one, but basically here on the side, we can get labels. For example, if we say, okay, this is a qualified lead, we can put it there on the side. So we can easily see which are qualified and which are unqualified. We can basically do that through a prompt, right? So you can say, for example, qualified, right? And then this is basically a prompt to our agent. If a lead is qualified, right, use this label. All right, that's it. Then we can schedule messages only available on the business plan and escalate to humans. Not important for this setup. Then we have the tool section, right, where we have our 7 tools, right? And there we can decide if we want to auto run, approval required, or let our agent decide. Now, in this case, I've put them all on auto run, but for some use cases, it's very important to have sort of that human approval, which we can easily build in with this approval required option. Sub agents, in this case, we don't have, and nothing really important here. So that's it for the agent setup. Now, let me go through the tools. So first, through the Find LinkedIn and Research Lead tool. So as you can see here, if you're completely new to tools, basically the way it works is here we have our inputs, and the inputs are basically the ones that are going to change the variables, right? Because these inputs, like you can see, Airbnb, Brian Chesky, we save here in these variables, which we can then use in the next steps. Now, if you don't know what tools are, tools is basically logic-based sequence of tasks it has to perform. So the way this works in practice here is, of course, we're trying to find their LinkedIn first and then scrape their LinkedIn to get more information on the lead. So what we do here is we use a Google search module built inside of Relevance AI to basically do a search query on Google to try and find the LinkedIn of this lead. So what we put in here is the variable of the name and the company URL. So in practice, it will fill out these 2 things. All right, I can run it quickly so you get an idea. And basically what it does is a Google search on this query, right? Which in practice is going to be Brian Chesky, Airbnb, LinkedIn, right? And what we get back is the Google search results, right? You can see we get Google search results, and then basically we feed those Google search results. We save that in a variable too, right? These are here in this variable, we have the Google search results. We feed that into an AI step where we prompt it to find the LinkedIn of, again, we pass it in the variable, right? So of Brian Chesky, who works in Airbnb, right? So this prompt basically says that. If you want to read this in detail, again, you can do it in the free template. So you can see, I give it an example too, right? And here we get the LinkedIn of Brian Chesky. Right now, again, we save this output, which is the LinkedIn inside of a variable, which we then pass into the LinkedIn scraper, also built into Relevance AI, right? Now, we've actually put in a condition here, which is, of course, if we only want to run this if the LinkedIn was actually found, right? So I instructed in this prompt, if there was no LinkedIn available, to output LinkedIn not available. And in this variable, basically, right? So if in the case it didn't find the LinkedIn, then this step wouldn't run. Right now, this one gets the user's scraped LinkedIn profiles. You can see we get a lot of data back, right? And we pass that in again through an AI step to actually make a nice little summary out of this and get all the important information from the LinkedIn profiles. You can see here, Brian Chesky is the co-founder and CEO of Airbnb, etc. And also, because we scraped their LinkedIn profile, we can actually also find the company's LinkedIn profile, as you can see. So we output these three sort of results, and we send that information back to our agent, right? So you can see we have the lead summary, the company LinkedIn URL, and the lead LinkedIn URL. So if you're unsure how to do this, you can actually get sort of these different outputs by putting here manual, right? And then you can choose your outputs, right? So because otherwise it will just output the last answer, only this, right? So if you want a multiple, you'd have to change it right here to manual. Then we go to the research company tool, very similar tool, but in this case we also do some web scraping. So now here we pass in the company LinkedIn URL, which we found in a previous tool, right? And the company website URL. Now, of course, there is a scenario where we don't find the company LinkedIn URL. So we also have to take that into account when designing these systems. What happens if we don't find it, right? The system can't break, right? So in this case, for example, I just put a simple thing here, the company LinkedIn URL of the prospect, input not available if no company LinkedIn URL is available. Now, why did I do that? Because then later I can use that as a condition. So because here again, we're going to scrape the company's profile, as you can see. So we pass in that. But of course, it won't work if there's no LinkedIn. So I put in a simple condition, right? If company LinkedIn URL does not equal not available, then right, it won't run, right? That's the important thing because it will break. Because of course we have a second option of doing research on the company, which we always have or almost always have, which is the web scraping, right? So here we do a web scraping and we actually have a recursive web scraping where we can do multiple attempts because sometimes web scraping, the first time it doesn't go well or it needs to load or there's a few things that can go wrong. So that's why I use the recursive web scraping because it basically tries 3 different times and it puts a delay between each time. So this scrapes the company's website, and the same thing as in the previous tool, we make sort of a nice little summary out of this. So we feed it in the results of the scraped LinkedIn and the scraped website, and then we create a company summary, right? So I'll run it quickly. And here we got it. So here's the summary, Airbnb founded in 2007. So get all the important information from the company. Now we're going to get to the interesting part, which is the voice call, right? So basically now we've researched that lead and now we pass that into this tool. Now this is the interesting one because basically what we're doing here is we pass in the first name, as you can see, filled out Brian. By the way, if you're completely new to these systems, this agent basically fills this out, right? So it's very important to always describe very well in this subtitle here to your agent what it has to fill out in this field, right? So I always say very specifically what it has to fill out because that's how we make sure that he fills out the right information. And also here in the description, this basically, this and this describes to your agent what this tool can do and will do, right? So first name of the lead, Brian, right? The lead summary. So the lead summary from the tool, from the first tool, basically. Then we have the company summary, the AI automation needs, which come from the form, and the phone number, which also comes from the form, right? Now, for example, with these things, it's important to also clarify to your agent what the format should be, because this voice call will only work if they put a plus before, for example. So you can see, always use plus. I instruct that very clearly to the agent. So we save these all again in a variable, right? And then in this first step, we're actually going to make sort of that personalized line that you heard in my demo, right? So we first do that. So you can see here, this is a long prompt. Again, you can look at it in detail, but your world-class personalized line script writer with a particular knack for generating an engaging and personalized line for a voice agent based on the context below. And basically we pass in those variables, right? I also give it an example of the prompt of the script, right? I give it the information on the lead and the company and some examples of personalized lines. And then it will generate that personalized line. So I'll run the tool quickly. Now it's going to call me, of course. Yeah, you can see it's calling me. I'm not going to pick up right now. So actually, let me cancel this. So yes, so you can see we got the personalized line here. Great. I noticed you're the co-founder of Airbnb company again, right? You mentioned you're interested in sales automation, etc. So this we save again as a variable and that we pass into our call script, right? That's how we do it. Because we don't actually want the entire script to be done by AI. We still want to have some sort of template in there to make sure the more sort of guidelines we have in or guardrails we have in place, the higher the reliability of these systems are. So we sort of want to mix personalization with guardrails. So that's this is basically the way I've done it. Now, of course, this didn't work, but yeah, here you can see we have the make phone call. Now, the nice thing is we actually had this built-in Relevance AI. So we don't need this third-party software like Vapi or Synthflow or there's Retail. There's loads of these voice agents available right now, and they're all really good. But the nice thing here now is in Relevance AI, we just have a module where we can put in this assistant prompt and therefore also personalize that prompt based on the specific lead or the information the agent has, right? And that's, I think, the cool setup. Now, I think this is an integration in the end with Vapi, but it's just a lot easier because Relevance AI has already built it in. We have the phone number there already. If you have to build it yourself again in Vapi, it'll take a little bit more time and a little bit more of a setup. So that's a nice thing. So we pass in the phone number here from the variable. We select the model to use. Now for these voice agents, also always really important to use the best AI models, right? To get a good performance out of them. And then we have the system prompt, right? You're Robert, an AI voice assistant for Ben AI. You're calling people who filled out a form request for AI automation services for Ben AI. Now these call prompts are a little bit different than normal prompts and agent prompts because we really want to, in general, it's a good idea, as I said, to have the guardrails and sort of have a script, right? So you can see I start here with an objective, right? You'll call the lead and have 3 primary goals. First, you'll get information on what automations they're looking to implement. 2, clearly mention the minimum price Ben AI charges for automation services. And 3, mention that you'll report this information to Ben AI and we'll reach out to you very shortly. Now, the specifics are some important rules, right? So again, I'll give it a little bit of a description on what it has to do, right? Then this one, every line that begins with this symbol is mandatory and must be recited verbatim, meaning it has to exactly say that line like it is, right? These lines are crucial to the script and should not be omitted, right? Now, you can give your voice agent a little bit more flexibility, but in my experience, it's good to give these voice agents clear sort of guardrails. So that's why I use that. So here I go a little bit into the tone of voice, which is also important for these voice agents. Like, in what tone should he talk? You should adopt a friendly, casual tone. It makes the conversation feel natural and approachable, much like chatting with a knowledgeable friend, while maintaining a laid-back and relaxed demeanor. Also, professionalism, respectful, informative, right, etc. Right? Because if you don't talk about the tone of voice, it starts, becoming very AI very quickly. So we really have to double down on that tone of voice. Then also, you are usually instructed on things that could go wrong, like people that are being called by AIs. Usually, or sometimes these questions pop up, right? It's like if the user asking if they're an AI, for example, and it's good to instruct in your prompt what to do in those scenarios. So in this case, I have like, if the user asks if you're an AI, you will say something like, yes, I'm Robert, Ben's AI voice assistant. Ben asked me to reach out to you so you can prepare as good as possible for a potential meeting, right? If the user asks if he can talk to a human, right? That's a very common one too in this voice. And then you say something like this. Yes, of course, after this call, Ben will reach out to you to book in a call, right? You'll never refer to the user as a prospect. Also very important, these things. And yeah, and here, important part, right? You have the script, right? So, hi, is this, right? Name, is this Brian or is this Ben, right? Then you have wait for prospect to respond. Hi, Brian, right? I'm Robert Benz. And then this, I pre-scripted, right? Now here we pass in the personalized line that we generated in the previous step, right? And the rest of the script you can see here, right? And then we also have some facts, right? Now, because the disadvantage of building this voice agent here on Relevance AI is that we can't actually pass in a knowledge base, right? Like if we build it in Vapi or something like that, we can actually feed in a knowledge base right there. So they can ask questions and the voice agent will take that from the knowledge base. Now in Relevance AI, like this, we can't do it. You can actually pass in an actual agent that you built on Vapi directly where you do have knowledge, but you have to use a different module, which is this one, right? Vapi AI, make a phone call, right? And there you can select the assistant idea of your Vapi voice agent, but you can see we can't then personalize the prompt like we do here with this sort of personalized line. And it's a little bit more of a setup. But again, we don't have knowledge and we can't actually do tool calling during the call, right? Because if we build it directly in Synthflow or Vapi, we can also do tool calling inside of the voice agent. So for example, you can do book a meeting directly there in the call or check your calendar, etc. Now we can't do that with this setup. So if you want more capabilities inside of your voice call, then I would recommend to set it up there. Maybe I'll do a tutorial soon on some of these voice agents. Let me know if you're interested in that in the comments below. So that's it. Then we do the call, right? And then lastly here we get the call details. Right now, this is basically another module that passes in the call details from the call that was just made. Now, of course, here we have an error because I manually canceled the tool run, but usually it will then run It will get all the call details and then pass that information on to another AI step, right? Where we basically extract specific information from that transcript, right? We get back. And as you can see here, what I want to get back out of that call script is the call status, right? If it was successful or not. Now, that doesn't only define if they actually picked up or not, but I basically instruct in that prompt if there was actually a conversation or a useful conversation, then identify it as successful, otherwise unsuccessful, right? Then the automation needs, so extract all the automation needs that the user told in the voice call. And the last one is the qualification status, right? Are they qualified or not, based on the question of the budget, basically, right? Qualified or unqualified. Now I extract, this is for an example output. As you can see there, these are 3 different outputs. So I basically separate them into 3 different variables through the convert JSON-like text into JSON. So I put that in here, and then I basically get the 3 different variables. And then again, as you can see, I get all of these different variables back here, which I'll send back to my agent, right? The call summary, the recording. So even I get the voice message, which I could send to myself, for example, the actual voice recording of the call, the transcript, the call status, the automation needs, and the qualification status. So all of that information gets sent back, and then our agent knows what to do next, right? So if we go back, the next step is send an email, right? Now, very easy one. Not going to go too much in detail, but basically here my input fields are the qualification status, right? So if they're qualified or unqualified, because based on that outcome, I send a different type of email, right? The call status, if it was actually successful or not, or unsuccessful, right? The automation project needs, and the email and the name, right? Then I pass it through an AI step to generate the email based on also those outcomes, right? So I can say something like, thanks for taking the call, if the call was successful, right? Otherwise not, of course, and then send an email, right? So that's it. Also module built into Relevance AI. And here we put in the outcome. So we have a personalized message, right? Pretty straightforward. And same for WhatsApp. Now, this is the cool thing with Relevance AI now. They actually have a WhatsApp module where we can send WhatsApps from our personal WhatsApp number, which normally this requires the official WhatsApp business API, which is a little bit of a hassle setting up. It's worth it in my opinion, but it is a little bit of a hassle. And the second disadvantage is we can't use it with our personal WhatsApp. Basically, Relevance AI now has an integration to connect your personal WhatsApp to Relevance AI, so you can send personalized messages or messages in general through your own WhatsApp. So I'll show you in a second how you set that up. So again, right, it's very similar to the email tool, right? Based on the outcome of the call and all the other details, we personalize a message, right? And then we send a WhatsApp. Right now, the way you connect this is basically a little bit of a hacky sort of way of doing this, I think, because Meta, of course, wants people to use the official WhatsApp business API. But this is another way where we basically just scan the WhatsApp just like you do with WhatsApp web, and basically gets access through the WhatsApp web through your personal WhatsApp. So very simple setup. You scan the QR code and basically it's connected to your own phone. And there's a lot of very interesting use cases. I'm actually coming out with 1 or 2 videos on WhatsApp agents because I think there's a huge opportunity there. And we've sold quite a few WhatsApp agents. So yeah, tutorials coming on that very soon. So again, sends a personalized WhatsApp. And then lastly, we have the LinkedIn invite tool. Now I'm going to show you a quick example to show you that it actually works. So here we have the leads LinkedIn username. Now you can see I've put in some extra instructions here to tell the agent what LinkedIn username actually is, right? This is the last part of the leads LinkedIn URL. Example, right? So if this is your full LinkedIn, then this is the username. Now, why do we need that? Because this is basically what we need to send that LinkedIn invite, right? We don't need the whole URL. So you can see, fill that out, Franceschi, right? Again, first name to the results, right? Research results, etc., to personalize the message, right? And then we have the LinkedIn action, right? Also built in Relevance AI, right? The LinkedIn action. Now, important here, do not overuse this, right? Because LinkedIn does have limitations with these kinds of things. And if you start inviting 300 people, I think that's sort of the limit, 200, more than 200 a day. But go a lot lower, to be honest, just to be safe, then LinkedIn's gonna, you have the potential of being blocked, right? And your account being closed. So be careful about this. Now, I know that there's not more than maximum 5 or 10 leads per day coming in. So this will not be overused in my case, but make sure that you don't overuse this, because it can really result in the blocking of your account. But anyway, the way it works is, as you can see here, we can actually choose an action, right? We can even send a comment, right? Get chats from LinkedIn. We can send messages in chats, but we can also send invitation with personalized messages, as you can see here. Hi, Brian, happy to connect. Just send you an email and WhatsApp about your request, right? Now, let me show you that it actually works with a normal account. So let me just find someone who's not a huge star. Let me take someone random. This person's probably going to be pretty confused about this message. But whatever. No, here we are in the LinkedIn tool. So basically we put in her, we put in her LinkedIn username, which is this last part, right? And that's basically what we put in this part, right, in the username. And then I'm just gonna change this and take this out. Otherwise, it's gonna tell her Brian, right? So here we go. We run the step. And you can see now it's sent. So if we go back to her, we refresh. You can see I've just connected with her. Now I actually sent her a person, also a message. But yeah, you can see this actually, it does work, right? So that's it for the LinkedIn. Lastly, we have the Update CRM tool, right? Update HubSpot. And here you can see, we just fill out all the information we got, right? Company summary. I'll show you inside of the tool. Right, a lot of information, job title, lead LinkedIn URL, lead summary, company website URL, company LinkedIn URL, company size, company industry, company summary, lead score, right? Automation needs, full name, phone number, right? And then we use the HubSpot API call module, right? You connect your account. Then this is the path which you can find in the HubSpot to create a new contact, right? And there I have all of these variables put in, and these are the properties inside of HubSpot. Now, if you get intimidated by this, you can also do it through Make.com, where you have a direct integration with HubSpot. But honestly, this is not that easy. Sorry, not that difficult. So that's it. You can see what was also created inside right here, Brian Chesky, right inside of my CRM, right, with all the information. So that's it. That's it. Pretty straightforward system, I think, but quite powerful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. If you like this video, please like and comment and maybe subscribe. I'd highly appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.